Welcome to this core financial modeling course. In this introductory lesson, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the course and how to approach it efficiently. This course is fairly long. It's over 40 hours of training, but the most important thing to understand is that you don't need to do all of it. In fact, if you just finish around half of it and follow one of our 20-hour plans here, that's probably more than enough. In this lesson, I'm going to give you 10-hour, 20-hour, and 30-hour study plans, and if you want more, we do have a course highlights PDF that has even more study plans listed there, including ones for different areas like equity research, private equity, equity capital markets, investment banking, and so on and so forth. Even if you want to get the certificate and complete the certification quiz at the end of this course, you don't need to finish everything for that. Just one of these 20-hour plans is fine, and as long as you get the certificate, you can still say that you finished the course. So let's begin here with the 10-hour study plan, which focuses very heavily on what you need for interview prep. In Module 1, which you are watching right now, you can finish this lesson, but I would not complete anything else here. You can look at the written guide if you want, but I don't think you need to watch all the lessons in the rest of this module. I would skip Module 2. I would then go to Module 3 and look at the first lesson there, which summarizes the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. Then I would skip all the way to Module 6 and look at 4 specific lessons there on equity value, enterprise value, and valuation multiples. These will be important as you go through some of the valuation lessons after this. Then go to Module 7 on the valuation and discounted cash flow analysis. I would recommend finishing everything there except for the optional lessons. They're marked optional. You'll see them. This will be about 4 hours. This whole module is very, very important, probably the most important one in this entire course. Then I would recommend going to Module 9 on M&A deals and merger models, and there are a bunch of different lessons and case studies, but I would recommend finishing just the first 6, which will take you about 2 hours. These cover the main concepts and the most important points to know for interviews. Then skip to Module 11 on leverage buyouts and finish lessons 1 through 4. That'll take you about an hour, and it's a good introduction to leverage buyouts. If you have more time, and you want to spend more like 20 hours on this and also get into some case studies beyond just conceptual interview prep, here's what I'd recommend. In Module 1, where you are right now, I would actually recommend finishing everything. It's around 90 minutes total. Then go to Module 2 and look at the summary lesson on the financial statements, and then go through some of the interview question lessons. Altogether, if you finish the interview question lessons and the summary one, it should be about 2 hours there, and it's a good review of the key accounting concepts. Then I would go to Module 4 on 3-statement modeling, and I would finish both case studies there. One is 30 minutes, one is 60 minutes. It'll probably take you about 2 hours if you actually do both of them. Then go to Module 6 on equity value, enterprise value, and valuation multiples, and just look at those 4 key lessons. Go to Module 7 on the valuation and DCF analysis, and as with the other plan, finish everything except for the optional lessons. Go to Module 9, and this time, you can actually finish the 60-minute case study there on an M&A deal. So do the conceptual lessons in the beginning, and then also do the actual real-life case study to get some case study practice. And then in Module 11 on leverage buyouts and LBO models, I would actually recommend finishing everything here. You can skip some lessons in the middle on some topics that are not that relevant for most interviews, such as a paper LBO model and LBO math interview questions, but I would actually recommend finishing the short case study, the 60-minute case study, and the 90-minute case study there. If you have even more time, more like 30 hours, here's what I recommend. This plan prepares you for interviews, case studies, and also gets into some of what you need on the job itself. Again, I would finish everything in Module 1. I would then skip to Module 2, look at the summary lesson in the beginning, and then the interview question lessons. In Modules 4 and 5, these are both based on 3-statement modeling case studies, and I would actually finish both of these. Module 5 starts from a blank Excel sheet, so it'll be good practice if you want to see how that is done. In Module 6 and 7, I would do the same thing, and I would look at selected lessons in Module 6, and then do everything in Module 7 except for the optional lessons. Moving past that, in Module 9, I would still recommend finishing everything. And then in Module 10, we have a 3-hour merger model here. This will be good case study practice, and it also represents what you do on the job more effectively. In Module 11, I would do everything except for those few middle lessons that you can skip over. And then in Module 12, we have a 3-hour LBO model. Again, this will be good case study practice, especially if you are preparing for private equity or you're thinking about it in the future. So that's what I recommend overall. If you're paying attention, you'll notice that I skipped over some modules. Module 2 teaches you accounting from the ground up, but If you already know accounting, you don't really need to do this. So if you're an accounting major, you took a couple classes, you probably don't need this, but it's there for your reference in case you don't know about the income statement, the balance sheet, the cash flow statement, and how they link together. Module 8 has all optional lessons, and it has some documents like a hedge fund stock pitch, an investment banking pitch book, and an equity research report. You don't need to watch anything here. You can just download the documents to see how we use the Excel models in real life. And then module 13 has a debt versus equity case study. There are some good materials here, but the issue is that they're mostly applicable for equity capital markets and debt capital markets. So I wouldn't bother with these unless you are applying to a capital markets team or you're working in one of these groups. Otherwise, I just don't think it's particularly relevant versus everything else in this course. So that's about it. Again, for more details, I would take a look at the written guide here, and we have even more study plans listed, but this is what I would say overall as you start going through this course.